Hey everybody, welcome back to Rink's Garage. Today we're going to be working on this 1974 International. Dad just drug it out home from out of a grove somewhere, so got a little bit of a backstory, but it hasn't run for a couple of years, so see if we can get her running. Like I said, we just drug her in the shop. Dad brought her home about a week ago or something. So, haven't opened the hood even on it yet, so we don't know what it's got for an engine or anything. She's been crusty sitting around. Got some spare parts in the cab. There's a drive shaft. Hood hinges, so that's interesting. We'll see what happens when we open the hood. But she's 3/4 ton or 1 ton. Probably 3/4. 74 International 200, and it says 8. So she must have a V8 in her. The guy he got it from said they did have it running kind of years back. Lost interest in it, parked it in the trees. So we're gonna see if we can get her to run if she's not stuck. But let's see if we can get the hood open and see what's under there. So, there's no hood latch in the cab. There's a rod. Oh yeah, no hinges, and it's not light. Well, under the old bonnet, looks like we do have a V8 International, and with some quick Googling, it looks like they did 345s or 392s was the big engine. So we'll have to do a little research and see if we can figure out what it is. Also, she's got some plug wires deleted. Does have power brakes. Looks like possibly a 2-barrel carburetor under there, but some brand new belts. Look like off the fan. And no alternator, appears. But she's kind of crusty, dirty. One other thing, supposedly the guy said that this engine was recently rebuilt before he got it, so I think the first thing we're going to do, clean her up a little bit so we're not working in all this gunk. So I'll get the old vacuum out, clean out all this years of debris, maybe wash the windshield, clean up this stuff, and then we'll probably see if she's even loose. So I'll grab the vacuum and start cleaning some stuff up. Well, we got some of the gunk cleaned off it. The windshield, we're going to need some sort of cleaner because she's got sap or something all over it. But got the inside. Oh, turn the light on. We got the inside cleaned up somewhat. Scraped all the crap out of the floor pan. That needs a spray down, but the dash, she's got a couple cracks in her. Not horrible. Door cards are junk. They're crusty, peeled up. A couple things I seen while we're washing it. Took a check at the VIN tag, and it says 196.7 horsepower at 4,000 RPMs. Wow, 200 4x4. So, from what I Googled, if you go by that, it might be the big 392 V8. The 345 was rated at like 144. So, we'll have to do some more checking on that. This door card's junk. Also, one other thing I noticed, it might have been involved in a bank robbery. There's a bullet hole here. She didn't make her through, just put a dent in her, so either that or it was innocent bystander and some target practice. But other than that, we got 18,224 miles. She's brand new. Probably rolled over a couple times. The top speed is 60 miles an hour. Truck alone, 35 with a trailer. I don't think that's factory. But everything's there. It didn't clean up too bad. We got some speakers even, or one speaker down on the kick panel. What else? She's got a crack in the windshield. Another thing I noticed, somebody did appear to redo the exhaust. She's got all fresh exhaust some years ago, but it looks like they just welded her right to the bumper. So she's solid, and they didn't account for much travel of that rear end. We only got about a ½ inch, so no big bumps, or we'll have kinked off pipes. Other than that, got the engine bay all cleaned up. Somebody did go wild with a wire cutter and just hacked all the spark plug wires off, so we're going to need some of them. Wiring is pretty shoddy at best, so get some new spark plug wires. We'll probably just crawl under there and hook a switch up to the starter, because that was the other thing, is Dad didn't get the keys yet, so we can't crank it that way. So he's going to work on getting the keys, but until then we'll probably just wire her up hot to the battery with a switch, see if we can kick her over. I did throw ratchet on the crank snout, and she is totally free. Spun pretty easy, so I think tomorrow we'll work on cleaning some of this stuff up, get all them wires off. Dad's going to see if he's got a new coil and a resistor, throw some new wires on it. We'll probably delete on the existing fuel lines and just hook her up to a new one. It's got a little 2-barrel. I didn't look at that, see if it's a Rochester or what it is. She's a Holly, 2-barrel Holly. I think that's what that says. Clean her up a little more. Which somebody maybe put that on. From what I read, the 392s were 4 barrels, but it could be a 345. Other than that, we need alternators missing, brackets loose. Somebody was, I don't know if they were attempting to take it apart. All the door hinges are also loose. They just kind of wiggle around. And I'm thinking the reason there was no hood hinges on it is because they were rotted out. As you can see on here, she's crusty. This one's there, that one's pulled out. This side, somebody just hacked off a chunk of steel with the torch and bolted in there. So it's different. other than that, yeah, clean up the engine a little bit tomorrow and see if we got spark. Get some fuel, 12 volts, see if she fires up. It's getting pretty late, so I'm gonna call her a night for tonight. Oh yeah, somebody cut the belts off it too, I suppose, when they robbed the alternator. She had a double belt pulley for the alternator. It's got the power steering belt on it, so that's good. I did throw some brake fluid in. Brakes are free. There is pedal, but there is a leak in the back, right above that distribution block. Might have been me with a chain when I tied it down. We're not sure. But yeah, I'm fairly confident we can get it running, so try her tomorrow and see what happens. Well, we're back. Got some parts Dad picked up, some plug wires, coil he had laying around. We got some new belts, fuel line, and a new filter. This bag of spark plugs I found in the truck. And we got an alternator. Let's switch pulleys on him. But what do we know so far? I did find out a couple things. Down here, there's a ledge that it's got some stamping in it. Tells you what motor it is. It's a 345. So pretty much standard in a lot of these old Internationals. They put them in grain trucks, I think, and everything. But where we're going to start is probably with the wires. I'm going to rip all them wires out of there that somebody hacked up, and then we'll probably pull the cap off, check the rotor and the points, clean them up possibly, and then we will probably should check over some of the vacuum lines. Everything's pretty crusty, so I think we'll start there. So I'll get them wires pulled off, see what them points look like. All right, we got all the wires off. I got the cap loose. I had it off already. It is very clean inside. It is, however, cracked, but that shouldn't stop us for today. Points look good. Like I said, it was all clean. So I did roll it up on number 1 top dead center. So rotor is facing there. That way we know that is number 1 cylinder. So I marked that for our wires, and this is going to be clockwise rotation, just like a Chevy, same firing order, 1-843-6572. So we'll put plug wires on, get them hooked up. For timing this thing, if you're using a timing light, everything I've read says you time it off at number 8. So your timing mark on the balancer would be for number 8. But we're gonna just wing it, do like I usually do on a small block, just set it close and retard it a little and see if she fires up, and just twist on her, get her going. So I don't think we need to clean anything up there. I will see if I can get down on the bolt for the distributor and get it loose now so we can adjust it when we need to, but we'll get some wires going for that, and then I'll go through all these vacuum lines and see. This guy's real crusty back there. I think I got some new stuff, so get them all buttoned up. And I did pull number 1 spark plug out when I was finding top dead center, and it's not horrible. A little sooty, but I think we'll just try her with what's in there. So I'll get that plug wire package opened up and cut to length, and we'll make some wires. All right, not sure how you guys operate with your spark plug wires, but I got them laid out longest to shortest. These ones got straight plugs on one end, blunt cuts on the other. They send along your ends. We're not going to use them, and your boots. So this old point system, I don't think it's as picky. So here's what I'm doing. I picked the longest one, which is 7. By the way, International, same as Chevy. Passenger front is 1, 2's on the other side, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 7 on longest run, and then I got 1 marked, so we just 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7. So I just bend the wire across the bottom, stick her in number 7, and push the boot down. Maybe. There we go. Solid enough. So I'll get the rest of them wires on, and then I think we will check out them vacuum lines, and then maybe put some power to her. See, start some fire. Hope not. But we got some random cut off wires. There was 3 extra wires on the coil, which not sure where all them are from, but probably make sure nothing's touching, hook some power up to her, do some testing, see what wires are what. Keyed power, coil power, alternator possibly, so we'll figure it out. All right, we got plug wires. I got a battery in. We got the positive hooked up, rounded up a negative cable. Peyton's gonna hop in, turn the key on, and we'll see if she lights on fire. Got it? What do you mean it doesn't go in? I already had it in.
I got it.
Okay, does it go forward?
Should I turn it?
Turn it forward. I don't have the battery hooked up.
Yeah.
Alright.
Should I turn it back?
Nope. Let's see if we got anything drawing juice. No sparks. It's all the way forward? Huh? Oop.
I just went forward one.
You got any lights coming on?
Not in here.
Something's drawing juice. Yeah, no dash lights. Don't smell any smoke. Don't smell anything, but something's definitely drawing juice. No dash lights, huh? Oh, geez. No lights, no dash lights. Interesting. Well, guess we'll just throw that on there and see if she'll spin over. Try in the starter. Just a little bit.
All the way.
Yep.
I thought it won't go.
Nothing? Alright.
It barely moves though. Should
You know,
it move a lot?
I wonder what's drawing some juice. We do have some iffy wires, like this one, that appears to have been melted already. Maybe we'll start there. I don't know. A lot of bear stuff going on here. But nothing seemed to be smoking, so.
Should I try again?
We'll just
Should it only?
Nothing. Pull the headlight switch on.
What's that?
Down on the side. Nope.
Should I turn it on?
Yep. What's the other one say?
It says wipe, wash, push.
Oh.
No windshield.
Wipers. We don't need to turn that. No. Interesting. Well, guess we'll have to check some power. See what's going on. Well, we found something interesting by accident. Peyton was in the truck like he is now, and he had the key on, and I stuck the test light, which is hooked to the battery ground, in here, and we got a light. So we got a dead short somewhere, so we'll have to track that down, but I'm guessing it's probably in this lump of wiring, so we might just go ahead and delete all that and just start with the bare necessities. So start there. Well, we did some wiring. So had Peyton running the test light, and we just started cutting wires till we got rid of our short, and it was on this big blue one, which I believe feeds main power into the cab. So that leads us to believe we have major issues in the cab. So we cut them all off. We got a hot power coming up to this fancy switch panel I got out of the old black truck over there. It's for racing use only, which is perfect. But we got the one to the solenoid and a hot coming into the push button, and we got an ignition wire which I got hooked power through that switch to the coil, or to the distributor, which I guess I need to jump that through the coil, so I'll fix that. But anyway, if we hook up our ground now, we got no sparkies, but now if we push the button, I can get a shot of that crank. We should be able to spin her over. Look at that. Okay. So I'll throw a coil in and fix my wiring I screwed up. And then we could maybe try to start it. We'll see. Alright. We got our coil wired in correctly, so I got power coming up to our toggle switch, to the coil. Coil wire's on. She should spin over. So, give her some juice. We took some precautions. I got the back wheels jacked up in case it tries to drive off. But, put a little gas in the old carburetor. Not too much. Just a little bit. See what happens.
Should I back up?
Yeah, you better back up. Ignition power.
That worked good.
We might need some more juice. We might need the jump pack. Alright, we got the jump pack hooked up. Give her another shot of gas.
Gas shot.
Okay. Ignition power.
Worked even better.
Alright, we better check for spark. Alright, upon further inspection, we didn't have any power going to our coil switch, which is weird because all of these wires are on the hot post with this big blue, but the blue one's the only one that's got power. So I jumped it from here over to the switch, so we should have power to the coil now. So
Should I back up?
see what's
again?
happens. Yeah, back up again. Hopefully she don't light up. So coil power, crank. Hopefully it's not pulling too much. We might have to check spark with the spark plug. We can grab that spark plug.
This one?
Yep. Hook him up. Lay him on there. Where we got? Okay. Still no spark.
What's happening?
All right. I think we have spark. Got the points cleaned up a little bit. Give her some gas. See what happens. Should be enough. Oh! More gas. She's not. Oh, let's see. Let's try this. some down in the bowl. Lost our spark again, but it did fire, so that's a good sign. She might run. We might have to run into town in the morning and get a new distributor and points, see if that'll make her run, but it fires, so I'm happy with that for tonight. We'll hit her again in the morning and see if we can get her to stay running, to get some gas to it, and see if the transmission's worth anything. So we'll continue tomorrow. All right, we're back at her the next morning. Got a couple things done. I did pull all the old gas lines out the fuel pump, took some carb cleaner, flushed everything out, put a new line on, deleted on the fuel filter after the pump and installed it before the fuel pump, which that's running down into our temporary gas tank. I did pull the cap off and clean everything up one more time. Filled the bowl on the carburetor up through the vent. So I think we'll try and get it running long enough to maybe test the transmission out. I got the back end up on jacks, so I'm not sure if she's got any brakes. I know the back ones leak, so we don't want her driving off through the Ranger. So got my hammer ready in case the needle and seat's stuck, but I think we'll crank her over, see if she'll fire up, get her to run on her own. So I'll set you up over here. We do have a blown out muffler, so I didn't hook up the hoses running outside, so we don't want to run it for too long, but we'll just give her a shot, see what happens. That might work. Quickly see if we got transmission. Reverse. Uh-oh. Transfer case in neutral. Try that. Oh, there we go. Kind of. It moved. Getting pretty stinky in here. Can we speed it up? Well, transmission's iffy. Carburetor's probably a little gunked up still, and it's real gross in here, so I'm gonna have to open some doors. But did not get a good feeling with the transmission. No solid clunk. It did try to spin the wheels. I don't know. But I'm gonna open the doors and air out a little bit, and then we'll take a look at some other stuff. Well, at least we know it'll run. Doesn't run that well, but I think getting some new gas in the carburetor, we'll let her sit for a while. I sprayed some carb cleaner in there. Hopefully some of that gunk will melt down and maybe she'll idle a little better. But for now, I think I'm going to dig into this wiring, see if I can figure out what's going on the cab side. See if we can get our key hooked back up so we don't have the push button out here. So, see if I can find some sort of schematic on this old truck and see what goes where. And might have to delete a couple things, but try to get the dash lights and stuff working. So, work on that, let that carburetor sit and hopefully get some of that gunk out of there. Well, it's been a couple days. I've been kind of tinkering on this thing. Got all my vacuum lines swapped out, plugged off the brake booster line since that was leaking. We'll have to dig into that, but she'll have manual brakes for now. I did find some diagrams online for the wiring, figured out what is what there. Everything seems to work except for the key switch to the starter to start it. I don't know if there's a fusible link under the dash somewhere that's fried, but she doesn't put any power out there. So I think what we're gonna do is just install a push button in the cab, and I'll put a relay in so that you gotta have the key on to start it. And then what else? I did get the belts on, made a alternator bracket quick out of some pieces I had. I don't know what this one was off of, but got good grounds. Got an engine ground, ground to frame, ground to cab. So hopefully that'll solve some of our electrical issues. But for now, I think I'm gonna put that push button switch in, probably stick it in, see if there's a spot. We'll probably just put her right here. Then you'll just have to turn the key on, push her starter. So I haven't tried the lights and stuff since I put all the new grounds on. Everything was kind of wonky, kind of worked, kind of didn't. So we'll get starter button installed in that relay. Then I think we can throw a battery in it and try it. I have been feeding her the sea foam, filling up the bowl, letting it sit. So hopefully that'll sort itself out and we don't have to take that carburetor apart. But get this wiring put in and then we'll see what happens. See if she runs, get her run decent, and then we'll let her idle and check that tranny fluid. It was on the full mark, sitting empty, but she might be a little low. Maybe that's why it didn't want to engage, hopefully. So get her wired up and we'll fire her up, see what happens. Well, she's all wired up, got a battery in her, gas tank's hooked up. See what happens. I filled the bowl with gas and gave her a little shot, so hopefully she'll take right off. Key on, give her a pump. Come on. Well, got the old vice grips on the choke, so see if we can keep her running long enough to check the transmission fluid. is about a quart low. Reverse. Drive. Oh yeah. I dumped some seafoam in that jug too, so hopefully she'll get a little bit in her. Sounds like she's actually kind of choking now. Oh, I thought it came out of it. Well, throw a little tranny fluid in her. Probably should check the water. Make sure there's no leaks there. But I think she's gonna run decent enough. I better turn the key off. Whew, she's smoky in here. So I'll throw some tranny fluid in her. Let her sit for a little bit. Probably got some of that seafoam gas up in it now. So what else? Headlights are working. No marker lights though. Anything back here? You got one tail light. That one I couldn't get to work the bulbs out of it, but once we get her running decent, we can check all that stuff too. So throw some tranny fluid in her and see if we can get her to idle again. Well, topped off the water, tranny fluid, and I tried one more thing to get her to idle. I pulled the 2 idle screws out of the bottom, sprayed some carb cleaner through them. Try her one more time, see if she'll idle decent. Now that the smoke's kind of cleared out here, we'll smoke her up again. She's a little stinky. Still gotta have the choke wide open. She is smoother though. Alternator's charging, so I feared we might have to rebuild that carburetor or take it apart anyway. Other than that, it sounds pretty good. Runs smooth, no knocks or anything. Well, I think we're gonna have to get a carb kit for her. She does have a little water leak on top of this water pump there. Other than that, she runs pretty smooth. It's getting real smoky in here. Whew. Have to open the doors wide open. But she should be all right. So order some more parts. I guess I did order some glass packs put on it. We'll cut them old mufflers off since the ones roached out. Redo our exhaust so it's not hitting the rear differential. But for this video, I think that's going to do it. We got it running. Everything seems like it's going to be okay. So transmission's good. We'll do another video on it coming up. We'll get that carburetor fixed, get her to run decent, and get all the lights working. make her roadworthy. Probably need some tires. I think Dad was looking for some rims. Get rid of all these split rims, but other than that, oh, we might put a flatbed on her too. I don't know yet, but she should be able to go down the road once again, so that's good. But that's gonna do her for this video, so thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.